percentage score for each account number representing each customer. And going back to our requirements, the customer requirements rather. Okay, it says that based on the final scores on the above, we got the final scores from, from the conditions set above after we did our count. And we are supposed to classify the customers into the following categories. Tier 1 priority service. So customers with scores above 85% will be classed as Tier 1 priority service customers, and those between 75% and 85% will be classed as Tier 2 priorities, Tier 2 priority service, I beg your pardon. Then those above 60% and less than 75% will be classed as Tier 3 priority service plus incentives. And the last class in the list is Tier 4 priority marketing plus incentives. So from where we are here. So from this point, we can start our classifications. And if I may ask someone to just tell us how he or she feels we can go ahead with the classifications with the percentage scores we have here already. So how do we go about it?
Good evening. I think we can use a conditional statement to classify it.
Okay. Conditional statement. I agree with you. So if you want to use the conditional statement, because it's going to create a new column. So anything that you are doing that's going to create a new column, you go to the Add Column tab. So that's where you will see the conditional columns, where you can create your conditional statement. So clicking on that column, just click on the column straight away, then we can start creating our conditional statement using the conditional column 2. This one says new column name. What is it? Like I said, we are going to create a new column. So we need to give the column a name, and it's our preferred name. At least it should make sense, along what we are doing. So so what can we name it? Should we call it customer classification? Let's just call it customer classification. Customer classification. Okay. So going by these requirements, so how do we class it? How do we set the condition? So I want someone to just guide us on how to do that. How do we set the condition here? Like I said, you don't necessarily have to be right, At least let's just hear what's your opinion, what you think, what you feel about it, so we can all look at it together and make corrections where corrections are needed to be made, So how does anyone know how we can go about this classifying based on the requirements here and the classes, that we are meant to put them into? Okay, let's go back there. I thought it was straightforward. For the first class that says customers above 85%, customers that score above 85% should be termed Tier 1 priority service. It's quite straightforward. We'll just, Just come here. Now we are left with 4 columns now. Account number, final score, maximum score, attainable, and percentage score for each customer. So if what? So who knows what we'll choose here? We have 4 columns here.
Final score.
If final score. Now.
No, if percentage score.
Yeah. If percentage score, that's where the percentage score is. If percentage score equals to, what do we put here? Is it equals to, or what? Let's look at the condition here. It's good to start, you can start from the top down. You know, this is the highest, you know. It makes sense. If you test the highest value, then go to the next highest, then all the way down. So anything above, so it's already indicated here. The operator here is above, and above means greater than. You know, anything above means anything greater than that value. So anything above 85 means anything greater than 85%. So just go back to our conditional column window and say if percentage score is greater than what now?
85%.
85%. So it's 85%. Then what should happen? From here, what should happen? What output do you want to see? What result do you want to see?
Tier 1 priority service.
Exactly. So just name it. Let's copy it. Just name it. Let's just copy it from here. Control C. Then we come here. You can put a value. Yes, asking for either you can put a number here or a text, or you can choose a column. We are putting a text here. Control V. Just name it Tier 1 priority service. So we are done with the first class. So we now move on to the next class, which is Tier 2 priority service, between 75 and 85%. Between 75% and 85%. So how do we set that? So we are going to add a new clause, that's adding a new condition. You know, it's coming with else if, it's starting with else if. Else if, you can view it as looking as the same as if, you know, if that will make it easier, you know. If and else if, you know, you can use them interchangeably in this regard. So if the score is this, you know, then else if, that means if it is not equals to this, then if it is equals to what? If percentage score is what? What operator do we put here? Is between 85 and 75. So between 75 and 85. 75 and 85. So here, 75 and 85, both numbers are inclusive here. You know, because greater than 85 here has not taken 85% into account. That means 85%, an exact score of 85% has not been taken into account here. You know, it's going to start from 86 upwards. So between 75 and 85 here, we are looking at 75 and 85% inclusive now. So that means normally, if you are going to look at it mathematically, or if you are going to give a mathematical logic statement for that, it's going to be greater than any number between 75 and 85, means the number should be greater than or equal to 75, then less than and equals to, okay, it should be greater than or equals to 75 or less than or equals to 85. Is that correct? From 75 to 85 is a number. Numbers between 75 and 85 are numbers greater than or equals to 75, right? And less than or equals to 85. Am I correct?
Yes, you are, sir.
Okay. So we need to set now, like we know, we can't set both conditions here. We can't set greater on the row, you know, on this on a line, let me call it on the singular, logical statement line. We cannot set, it's only giving us the option to do equals to a number, does not equals to a number, or if yes, a value, greater than, is greater than or equals to a value. Less than equals a value is about this operator in relation to a value. So there's no way we can relate this operation, with just a singular if statement with two values. Because here we are talking of 75 and 85 here, and the best way to have done it is to use the custom, the custom column actually. That would have given us, the length and breadth to put in everything we want. But we can equally make use of the conditional custom columns, and later edit it the way we did, the other time. And that's what I want us to do, you can go through via the route of custom column, put everything, that's when you have to type in everything. You have to type in all the conditions, all the operators. You have to type them in. But this is much more easier. We just need to edit the final output just to match what we want to achieve, So, like I said there, we cannot implement equal, less than or greater than and equals to 75 and less than and or equals to 85, as it is now. But we'll just do what we can. We'll do what we can, then later we'll edit it, So at this point, we are saying it should be greater than or equals to 75. So let's just put that first. Greater than or equals to 75, 75. Please put in mind that we still need to include and less than or equals to 85. So that should be on this line, but we cannot put it now, we'll do it later. So for that condition, we'll put what there? That's for tier 2 priority service. Control C. Then we come back here and put Control V. Then next clause is this. If it is,
You have not put the percentage sign for 75.
Thank you for that. Percentage, yeah. Next clause is if percentage score is what? For the next category, if it is above 65 and less than 75. So who can tell me the logical statement that will suit this condition? I'm going to ask someone to just give us the answer to this, Above 60 and less than 75.
Is it greater than 60 and less than 75?
Yes, greater than 60 and less than 75. It's so straightforward. It's direct, It doesn't need much thinking, Above 60, greater than 60, and less than 75. Can we implement that statement on this line? Yes or no? I don't see the yes or no answer. Can we implement that statement on this if line?
I think no.
Why?
Can you do the drop down, please? Because I don't see anyone that fits into.
Yes, you can only implement what's it called? Anything related to just singular value, as in an operator and a value, because you cannot put in two values there. Is going to just allow you to put a value here, equals to or greater than or equals to, that is all. If it is, when I say a single value, now we are talking of 75 and we are talking of 60, I think, is it 60 now? We are talking of 60 and 75 here. We have two quantities here now. Two quantities we want to provide an if statement to satisfy. But the if condition can only satisfy when you're using the conditional if. You can only use it like this. Look at this first example now. It was so easy for us to do because there's only one value here, 85%, greater than 85%. But here we are talking of greater than 85 and less than 70, greater than 60 rather, and less than 75. So we are now, two values are involved now. We cannot use a conditional if in that statement, just like that. We have to amend it, later after you must have finished writing it. So that's just what I want to explain to us. So we have greater than 60 and less than 75 now. So we come here, we can do just one, let's just do greater than 60% here. So bear in mind that we still have one more condition to satisfy, which is less than 75.
Hello, sir. I want to
Sorry,
ask you a
please go ahead.
question now. Hello,
Please
sir.
go ahead.
Okay,
Please go ahead.
okay, sir. So my quick question is that if you say it's greater than 60, and the one on top is greater than 75 or something, will this greater than 60 not stop at, that's 75? Because I think, there's an hierarchy to it. If it's greater than 60%, then is it not going to stop at that 75? I know this is the requirement given to us, but do we still need to add it? Because, the line above it is from 75 and above.
Yeah, the line above it, like you rightly said, is from 75 to 85.
Yes.
This is 75. Sorry, let me leave a line here. This is 75 to 85, right?
Yes.
And this will be from 61.
60.
No, it's above.
Yes, 61.
61 to 74.
Okay.
Is that clear?
Okay.
All right.
But sorry, can you show the Power BI Power Query screen?
Okay.
Is it going okay? So this one is greater than or equal to 75?
Yes.
Okay. I understand now, sir. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Okay, so here, what we are left with here is, let's go back here. Now, we are left with numbers lower than 61. That means from 60 downwards. That means from what we are left here is from 60 downwards now. Downwards. That's what we are left here. So these are satisfied. These first three conditions, have satisfied numbers between 61 and 100. From 61 to 100 have been satisfied. So from 60 downwards, is yet to be satisfied. And that is, so here we can just say anything else, so we've not concluded this. So what should we put here? That's tier 3. Tier 3 priority, service, and incentives. Control C. Going back here. Control V. Okay. Then anything else means 60 below. What should be put here is it should be tier 4 priority plus marketing. Control C. You don't need to set a condition for that. It understands that everything else that is not satisfied, here should take up this. This should be the result for that, That's what that means. So now, like I said, we need to go and adjust this. But before we do that, let me run the query. Let me OK it. Sorry. Let's OK it and see. After we must have OK'd it, we can now go here and go and adjust it, Because like I said, we've not fully met all the conditions. So let's wait this out. Okay, fine. So let's let's go here. This is the last step. Here, let's come here to edit it and see what has to be done. Here that will be said it should be greater than 75, greater than or equal to 75, and the percentage score it should be less than or equals to 85, or see, it has even converted it to decimal for us.
I was going to ask, how did it come decimal?
It converted it to decimal for us. I really, 5% is 0.85, so it's still more or less the same thing. So probably it felt more comfortable working with decimal. That's what I would just assume, because we input a percentage value there, but here it returned decimal, but it's fine. So here we have greater than or equals to 75 and less than or equals to 85. So we can come here. So let's cancel it. Let's close it and come here. This is it now. You look for it here. This is it. Don't forget, else if percentage score is greater than or equal to 75, and we add it to it. Still that same line. And the same percentage score, the same percentage score, copy it with the square bracket, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, percentage score should be less than or equals to what? 0.85. So we are 5. We are done with that line. You can see that, then try tripartite service. That is it. So this is the full line. This is the full command line for it. Else if percentage score is greater than or equals 0.75 and percentage score, we must quote it again, is less than or equals to 0.85, put tier 2 priority service. That's how to edit it. Then the next one is if percentage score is greater than 0.86 and the two conditions have to be met. That is, it's going to be an AND clause. And the same, who can tell me what to do? And what?
And less than 74.
I just put less than 74 here. Is that it? You sure? 75. Are you sure this?
Sorry, 75.
Are you sure this is it?
And percentage score.
Yes, you must put the percentage score there. And percentage score, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, is less than 75. Then name it tier 3 priority service plus incentive. Else, this is the last one. Else, every other number outside this range we've chosen should be given tier 4 priority plus marketing plus incentives. So after we must have finished editing this, we just come here and OK it. So that is how. If not, if we are supposed to use the custom column, we are supposed to type everything we type here in the custom column. So I just felt this is easier. We use conditional column and just modify it. It's just, it makes life easier. You can see we have it now. 37%, is tier 4. That is anything less than 60. Anything 60 downward, 60 and below. That is it. This is tier 3, from 60 to 74. You can see 75 itself. You can see, 75. 75 is tier 2. You can see. Let me just minimize something. 75 is tier 2. So going by our condition, 75 is meant to be tier 2. You can see from 75 to 5 is tier 2. So with this, we can safely send this to our clients, saying that we have classified the customers according to the data we are giving. This is what the client needs. So that's just it. It's a straightforward exercise. It just needs patience and understanding, to get.
Sorry, Mr. Jide,
Yeah, please go ahead.
just to ask and for knowledge sake,
Okay.
will it be advisable to regroup the final the customer classification into, like, put them together where you have tier 4 all together, where you have tier 3 all together, to make it more like grouping them, the tiers where you have all the tier 4s, you group them together on the same column, I mean, though.
If you want to do that, fine. If you just want to know, if you want to do that, it's okay. But for me, I will just, this is arranged serially. I'll just send this down serially, or if they want it arranged, if you want it grouped, I can group it. For me, for me, this is serially arranged and it has the, what's it called, the corresponding class for each customer. I can send this and I can choose to group it and say, okay, these customers belong to this group, that customer below, this list of customers belongs to this class, and it's, it's fine. It depends on how you feel it's appropriate to deliver the job. That's my opinion anyway.
All right, thank you.
All right, yeah. So I don't know if anyone has any questions. In the absence of one, I'll hand the class over back to Sister Debbie.